Hello and welcome back to our channel. I am super excited to share with you today. However, today I'm going to talk about a little bit more of a serious topic than usual. Yep. Today we're going to talk about anxiety. I know. We're going to talk about anxiety. It's something that all of us have been experiencing, especially over the last 2 years. And I really want to take a few moments to deal with this. We're going to talk about the etiology of anxiety, and then we're going to talk about strategies of helping us to manage it better, especially in these uncertain times. So if you're ready, let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to Choosing to Live Now. My name is Taneshia, and today, you heard it correctly, we're going to be exploring the concept of anxiety. Yep. So in our last discussion, we were really talking about the difference between living and existing. And what we shared is that when an individual is existing, they are hyper-focused on completing the tasks that are associated with the characteristics that make them who they are. However, they are not focused on any other aspect of bettering themselves because they're in survival mode, just focusing on what's in front of them. And we talked about the person that is living is looking at their life from a global view, and they're more focused on protecting their purpose and becoming a better evolved version of themselves, that as a result of them continuing to evolve and become better, they actually begin to reproduce new things, new ideas, new art. They evolve and become a better person until they have completed their purpose in life and become who they're supposed to be, right? But there's one thing I told you about existing, and that was that what makes a person exist is that they either just exist as opposed to living is they either lost the vision for their life or never had one. But can I tell you a little secret, friend? Did you know that anxiety is the number one reason why people lose their plan for their life, their focus? Yep. I know. I do it every time, right? I give you a little cliffhanger and I throw it on the edge, but friend, it's the truth. We oftentimes become overwhelmed in anxiety to the point where it will drown out our ability to live and focus because we're so stressed out and worried about something that we are overwhelmed and we give up our purpose, our dream, and our will to live because we feel like we cannot accomplish the goals that we have set out to accomplish. Okay? All right. So I know we're starting off rough. Here we go. All right. Here's the formalized definition of generalized anxiety disorder according to the DSM-5, and it reads: anxiety is excessive worry occurring more than a few days, at least 6 months, about a number of events or activities. And they give an example of what those events and activities could be, and that could be work pressure, that could be school performance, and it could be so many things other than those, okay? And so here is the kicker. You know that you have generalized anxiety disorder if you have 3 of the following 6 symptoms at one time. You ready for them? Here it goes. Feeling restlessness or feeling on edge or keyed up all the time. Always stressed, always on edge all the time. Another thing is being easily fatigued. Because of this excessive worry, you're easy to get exhausted and tired and just want to go to sleep, and you don't know why you're always tired, okay? Another thing is difficulty concentrating on something, or your mind goes blank in the middle of something that you know. It could be mundane, like your address or your phone number, things that you've memorized throughout your life. These are things, if you have generalized anxiety disorder, that you cannot remember. You don't remember a skill that you trained 20 years to do, and when you get down to the simplest, minute detail of that skill, like writing your name, you forget the letter, how to write the letter. Have you ever had something like that to happen to you? I know I have. Here's another symptomology of generalized anxiety, and that is irritability. Everything bothers you. Everything gets on your nerve. You're just frustrated and on edge all the time and don't know why. Another example of anxiety would be when you start to have physiological symptomology. They give an example of muscle tension, right? So you're so anxious and stressed out that you're tense all the time, you're having back pains, you're going through all sort of changes in your body, physiologically, in your muscles, because you're overwhelmed with this excessive worry that you have. And another symptomology is that you have sleep disturbances. So this means that you either have difficulty falling asleep or you have difficulty staying asleep. Is anybody out there experiencing that? Friend, I have not slept well in a minute. What about you? Just, you go to sleep at your normal time, you're tired. 2 a.m., I'm up like this. What we gonna do? I just went to bed at midnight, and at 2 a.m., I'm like this. Is that you? Well, it's a possibility that you might be experiencing generalized anxiety. Oh God. Friend, I know. And listen, I'm sharing this with you not because I want to project it at you, but I am experiencing it with you, and I understand. But can I tell you a little secret? Anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, is one of the most difficult disorders to create an intervention for. And you know why? I'm gonna tell you. The reason why is because people avoid what they worry about. Oh God, today. Can I say that again for the people in the back? Did y'all hear that? People avoid what makes them uncomfortable, what makes them worry. So as a result of them avoiding it, they never, ever, ever get treatment for generalized anxiety. That's the reason why you'll meet someone that has 3 or more of the symptoms I've given you for generalized anxiety disorder, and it not just be in one area of their life, there'll be multiple areas of their life. So let's say they're worried about riding on a plane because they're worried that the plane might be knocked out of the sky. That same person might always also be concerned about driving on the road because they're worried about getting a ticket, or they're worried about if their bills are not paid on time, everything is going to be taken from them. Are you following me here? Typically, when an individual has generalized anxiety, it is not in one area of their life. It permeates their life. And you know why it permeates? Because they escape. Oh God. Friend, every time something in their life comes up that makes them feel worried, they try to run in the opposite direction. Friend, is that you? I'll give you disclosure. I am currently working on my dissertation. I am a great writer. I am a published writer. And the dissertation is the culmination of your PhD journey, right? And I have had the most difficult time writing my dissertation, just my literary review, which I've done 100 times. It doesn't even have to be super long, but I'm having difficulty writing it because I am feeling uncomfortable with the size of it and its title. So as a result of that, I have tried to escape it by doing other things. As a matter of fact, as I'm recording this video now, I probably should be writing, but this is more interesting to me because what I'm talking to you about, I know it like I know my name, okay? Very well. But giving you a concept of what it looks like to escape. So it doesn't mean that you're running and hiding behind a curtain. Obviously, it could mean that when it is time for you to address something that you're concerned about and really face it head on, you find something else to distract you with because it's too uncomfortable to deal with the thing that you're worried about. And let me take it to the next level. You know why we worried about it? Friend, you ready for it? I'm spilling all the tea today. You're worried about it, and I'm worried about it, because you have no control over it. Friend, is that you? Are you worried about things, suffering from anxiety because you have no control? If you are, know that you're not alone. Because that is what, these are the underpinnings of what keep anxiety living in our lives. Yep, I know it's basic, but really think about the things that you worry about on a regular basis. And understand that the underpinnings of what keep them in our lives is number one, we have excessive worry. Number two, we can't control them. And number three, we escape them. Excessive worry, we can't control them, we escape them. Those are critical to why anxiety lives in our life. And in order for us to live our best life now, my friends, my brothers, and my sisters, we have to really get to the core of anxiety and uproot it. And you might be saying, Taneshia girl, I've been trying to uproot anxiety for as long as I can remember, and I am unable to. You want to know why? Because the first strategy, and I'm going in heavy, you see that? You see how I transition in the strategies? Because we're not playing today. We have to get rid of this anxiety in our life. Number one, you have to face what makes you worry. Ooh! Man, friend, what does that look like? I can tell you what it looks like in my life. It looks like me getting up at the time that's appropriate for me, or staying up and writing even when I don't feel comfortable. It means facing the part of this big project that I have to do, even though I'm afraid, but going forward anyway. Why? Because in order for me to overcome anxiety, I gotta stop running from makes me afraid. And then here's the next thing. Number two, I have to now face and address what I cannot control. Oh gosh, today, is that you? What can't you control, friend, that you're afraid of? What can't you control? Because here's the thing, friend, at the end of the day, you could spend your life creating what-if statements, and I wish my life was better if this wasn't the case. But friend, I know that you feel like the glass is half empty, but I encourage you to look deeper to realize that actually the glass is half full. I know that you got a bunch of things on your plate, and that you've received a diagnosis in your children, in your life, in your circumstances that makes you afraid because you do not know what to do with it. But I promise you, if you look at it for what it is, you will be free from the bondage of anxiety, because then it no longer controls you. Because you can only control what you can control. And that is being present now. Dealing with what you can deal with to make this glass that is half full become full. Because if you can change your mind, you can change your life. So I cannot change the diagnosis that you received, and neither can you. But what you can do is change what you do with your life now that you've received it. And it doesn't have to be a medical diagnosis. You could have received a report that your job is ending and you're scared to death. Well, guess what you can do in terms of changing your mind? What can I do next? What are my skills? I work at this job and I have a function, but what are my skill sets that are beyond the job itself? So I worked in insurance, but what are the things that I did while I was there? I organized, I set up, I consulted with business. Oh, did you say consulting? Sounds like a new business opportunity to me. Face it, take it all the way to the end of its possibility instead of hiding from what could happen. Because when you hide, it takes control over you, friend. And I need you and me to be free. I need us to be free. I need us to be free. The next strategy that I want to give you is, friend, grieve the thing that you have vetted out to the end. So did you hear what I said earlier? Take that thing you're afraid of, face it, take it all the way to the end, all the way to the last possible thing that could happen. Now grieve what could happen as if it did happen. Go through the process of that loss, of that fear that you have. Don't allow it to overtake you. Take that thing to the end, right? Grieve it and then let it go. What, did you think it was going away? Nope. You still got to process the loss. You still got to go through your grief. You got to forgive and move on. And how does that tie into anxiety? I'm glad you asked. It ties into anxiety in this way. As long as you are afraid of the unknown, it rules you like unforgiveness does. You're afraid and you're not moving forward. You're not connecting. You're not continuing to live. You're not continuing to seek value in your life, in your circumstances. You are stuck, just like a person that doesn't forgive. So you have to really play out the full thing you're afraid of until the end. And then grieve the thing at the end as if it happened. So it no longer traps you in today. If you can do that, you're going to find freedom over anxiety because you faced it. And just because that's your worst case scenario doesn't even mean that that's what's going to happen. It does not mean that. But what it does is it gets you out of this mindset of walking around in the cycle, the cyclical pattern of thinking that you cannot move forward, that you cannot do things, that you have to avoid and you have to escape. Because what is what is. If you have an illness that you got to walk through, you have to get your mind around it. And you can do one or two things. You can walk in a place of faith. And if you are one that walks by faith, then you have to follow the ingredients of how to increase your faith in that area so that you're able to be free of the anxiety of what could happen. Because faith and anxiety cannot co-occur. Oh no, they're opposite in many ways. To be anxious of something is the fear that something is going to be a certain way. But to have faith is, in spite of what it looked like, it's not going to be the way I thought it was going to turn out. So they cannot coexist. You're either going to have faith or you're going to have anxiety. Pick one. They don't live together. And I need you to know that, friend. But you really, really, really have to make your peace with the thing, whether you're a person of faith or not. Your life is being debilitated and I need you to face your fears. Now I know I'm asking you to do some real courageous and hero kind of stuff. I get it, friend. I totally understand it. And here's the thing, what I'm asking you to do is not easy. And if you're finding that your anxiety is so severe to the point where me giving you these strategies is not enough for you to be able to make it, here is a solution for you. It might be a great idea for you to get some support from a therapeutic intervention. And you're not wrong or weak for that. Because one of the challenges with anxiety is that if someone does not challenge you on how to face your fears, you're going to keep having them. Can I say that one for the people on the side? Did y'all hear that? If you don't have someone in your life to challenge you to face your fears, it is a great possibility that you will live in them and remain in them without change. So sometimes going to sit in front of somebody is a great way for you to be able to face your fears in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable in the moment. But it is so good for your life. Now, if you are able to listen to somebody like me and it challenges you because you are more healed on your journey and you're more whole on your journey, you can replay this video over and over again. You got to face your fears. Oh yeah. You gotta face your fears. Can I say it again? You gotta face your fears. Hey, you gotta face your fears. Huh? See the shoulder action? You gotta face your fears. Hey, you gotta face your fears. There's no way out. Not only do you have to do it, I am working through doing it right now. If you can face the things that make you uncomfortable, you're going to be so powerful, so successful in navigating anxiety when it reappears. Because, honey, it'll be back. You have to get so comfortable with recognizing that there are things. That's the next strategy. Recognize, let me say that one before I go there. Recognize you can't change everything. Oh, God. You can't fix it all. Come to grips that you cannot control everything. You can only control what you can control. And number 4, know that you are not alone. You are not alone. All of us have experienced anxiety in some way in our lives or another. It is more severe or less severe depending on us individual and how long we've been in this state. But the way to get out of anxiety is by facing your fears. There is no way around it. One of the greatest treatments that they give for people who have anxiety, heavy levels of anxiety, more severe than generalized anxiety, such as PTSD. That is a post-traumatic stress syndrome. That's a really heavy level of anxiety that's based on an experience that some of us might even be experiencing that's beyond what we're discussing in the scope of this conversation. But one of the greatest therapies for them is exposure. We have learned over the years when it comes to anxiety that the only way to navigate it is to expose ourselves to the things that we're afraid of in a healthy environment so that we can process them safely, redesign our thinking around them so that we can move on. And when people go properly manage exposure, they are 85 to 90% free of anxiety in that specific area. That's the reason why I say if this video is not enough for you, you might want to consider getting some help. And there are some resources out there. Look them up, do the research yourself, but know that facing your fears is how you overcome anxiety. Face them, journal them, write them out, pray. Whatever you need to do that. I want to thank you today for sticking with us in this conversation about anxiety. I want to let you know again that you are not alone. I am here with you. This is a community. We're going to get through this together. If you like the content on this channel, please subscribe, please like, please share, please share. Please let other people know how you're getting helped, how you're being supported so that they might get support too. Until next time, friend. Know that I'm here with you in my heart. I believe in you. We're going to get through this together. Blessings today to you, my friend.